The interviews you need to hear, the highlights you want to see, and the analysis that brings it all together. After every Wizards game on Comcast Sportsnet, our crew's got what every Wizards fan wants. Every day is game day on Comcast Sportsnet.
On January 19, 2000, it became official. Michael Jordan would lead the Wizards organization in the capacity of president of basketball operations. In October of 2001, it became clear that MJ still had the fire and desire to come out of retirement and lead this franchise by example rather than from behind a desk. On February 21st, Jordan became the first player in history to score over 40 points at the age of 40. Tonight, Michael bids farewell to the fans of the nation's capital who have cheered so loudly for him over the last 2 seasons as the Wizards play host to the New York Knicks in MJ's final game in Washington. Sportsnet presents Wizards basketball. Tonight live from the MCI Center in Washington, D.C. It's the Washington Wizards and the New York Knicks. In a city that boasts the most powerful figures in the world, who would have thought that the most popular would slip into a Washington uniform? But 2 seasons ago, the unthinkable occurred. The greatest player of all time would come out of retirement to play once again. And for 2 seasons, he has given this town a glimpse of greatness, the likes of which we may never see again. Hi, folks. It's great to be with you tonight for Wizards Hoops here on Comcast Sportsnet. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier. 2 games remain in Michael Jordan's brilliant career. The last one tonight in Washington. He has given us so many memories that we are blessed to be able to share with him. And I'll tell you what, Phil, this has been some ride that this man has had.
Yeah, in a very short period of time, 2 years. Memories right here at MCI dating back to his first preseason game here as a Wizard, scoring 41 points in a game against the Nets. That shows you his competitive spirit. Later on, when the season began, he quickly became the team's leading scorer naturally, and then became only the 5th player in franchise history to score 51 points. Not one to rest on his laurels, though, followed that up on New Year's Eve with a 45-point performance against the Nets. Both those were wins, and then a week later became only the 3rd player in NBA history to register 30,000 points. Of course, he did that against his old teammates, the Bulls, and that too was right here. But then not resting there, turned 40 in mid-February, and then not long after that registered 43 points, the first and only 40-pointer to score 40 or more points in an NBA game.
There are some skeptics who would have said that MJ perhaps tarnished his legacy by coming back. That's ridiculous. He has enhanced his legacy, showing that at age 40 he can play on this level, a work ethic like I have never seen.
Yeah, it just amazes me. I mean, keep in mind, this guy's been out of the league for 3 years, came back, was as strong as ever. It looks like he will play 82 games this year. That's another feat that a lot of NBA players can't say. So his preparation, his mental toughness, and physical ability is something to be marveled.
Well, some special ceremonies are to take place, and for that we send you over to public address announcer Kevin Heilbronner.
Bring it on down. Clap your hands, everybody. Clap your hands, everybody. Clap your hands, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise. Presenting the flag for tonight's game, please welcome members of our United States Armed Forces. For the Pentagon on September 11, 2002, the 1-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
all time. Once again, let's send you to PA announcer Kevin Heilbronner.
One shot, one moment. Yo. Reality, up there goes gravity. This whole show, these numbers go wild. He broke down the whole crowd, goes go loud. If I turn it, I'm up.
Now representing the most powerful city in the world, get on your feet and make some noise! Here are the DC Lottery Hot 5 starting lineups for your Washington Wizards. The coaches, the head coach is Doug Collins. Assistant coaches Brian James, Larry Drew, John Bach, and Patrick Ewing. The athletic trainer is Steve Stricker. And now here are the starting lineups. At guard at 6 feet from the University of Nebraska, number 10, Teron Lue. And forward at 6'11" from Glen Academy High School in Georgia, number 5, Kwame Brown. At center at 6'11" from Duke University, number 44, Christian Leitner. And forward at 6'6" from North Carolina, number 42, Jerry Stackhouse. And at guard at 6'6" from the University of North Carolina, number 23, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan announced for the final time in the starting lineups here in Washington as we check the lineups for you. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. First for the New York Knickerbockers, who are 36-44 on the year, 24-16 at home, and 12-28 on the road. They'll start Allen Houston and Howard Isley. Houston in 3 games this year against the Wizards, averaging better than 22 points, shooting 41% from the field. And in the front court for New York, it's Latrell Sprewell with Clarence Weatherspoon and Kurt Thomas at the center spot. Spree leading the Knicks in scoring 23 times this season. The head coach in his second year is Don Chaney, now with a record of 56 wins and 87 losses. He took over last December following Jeff Van Gundy's resignation. Your Washington Wizards have a record of 37 wins and 43 losses. 23-17 here at home and 14-26 on the road. Michael Jordan will start and play tonight in his 141st game in Washington, along with Teron Lue. In 140 games here, MJ averaging over 21 points, almost 6 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. And in the front court, Jerry Stackhouse is back in the starting lineup with Christian Leitner at the center position and Kwame Brown at the power forward. Stackhouse missing the last 2 games with a bad knee. The head coach in his second season in Washington is Doug Collins with a record of 74 wins and 88 losses. He's assisted by Brian James, Larry Drew, Johnny Bach, Patrick Ewing. The Wizards trainer is Steve Stricker. The officials tonight are Greg Willard with Louis Grillo and Hugh Hollins. Wizards and Knicks for the 4th and final time this year. Thomas beats the tap on the way up, and New York controls. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier, and we're glad you're with us tonight. As the Wizards have 2 more games remaining in this season. Neither one of these teams will make the playoffs this year. Washington and New York have both been eliminated. Stackhouse drives and misses that layup. Wizards 37-43. Last year they finished 37-45. They have 2 more opportunities to better their season record, which they did last year when they won 18 more games than the year before. series history, Michael Jordan in his career against the Knicks, this is 60th game, averaging almost 32 points a game, about 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Lou works free for the open jumper.
Both teams starting off a little slowly.
Not long for Spree to heat up. He averages 16.6 points a game. Almost 4 rebounds and 4.5 assists. 11th year from Alabama. Stackhouse is free for the jumper. Good to see Jerry back in the lineup.
Well, it really is. You see that brace on his right knee to kind of give him a little support. Hopefully he's getting stronger each day.
Kurt Thomas inside. Had a good game the last time these two teams played. Thomas on the fadeaway comes up short. Stackhouse is there. Wizards will close out the season in Philadelphia Wednesday night for Michael Jordan's final game ever. MJ yet to shoot. Leitner checks the right, fires and misses. Well bumped by Jordan, and a foul on MJ. Let's check in with our colleague on the sideline, Chick Hernandez. Chick?
All right, guys. Doug Collins before the game said, asked him what he remembered about Michael Jordan. First thing he said was day one of training camp, Michael Jordan, the way he looked, no way this guy would play the entire season. In fact, he's the only guy who's played in each and every game for the Washington Wizards. Also said Michael Jordan always showed him much respect. In fact, other players on this team have cursed Doug Collins during this year. But he said, as his eyes welled up, Michael Jordan believes in what I'm teaching. He has never, ever had a terse word from me.
And that's a good thing because this team is going to need to buy into Doug Collins' coaching. Stackhouse the long jumper, good. So each team with a three-pointer, Stackhouse there. And Allen Houston had his 176th three-pointer on the season.
Yeah, that's one of the top three-point shooting teams in the league. The Knicks are. And, of course, that's been an area of concern defensively for Washington over the past couple of months.
They called a foul on Kurt Thomas, and so the Wizards will get it back. In fact, the Knicks are 4th in the league in three-point shooting. Only Milwaukee, Dallas, and Sacramento are more proficient from long range than the Knicks.
Well, they start a very small lineup, particularly when you look at Clarence Weatherspoon at the power forward.
MJ misses. Kwame tips it up and no good. Game tied at 5. Houston. Sprewell shoots over Jordan, no good, and Leitner is there. Christian Leitner, the leading rebounder on the Wizards at 6.7 per game. Jordan again. Michael Jordan averages 20.1 points a game. Gets his first 2 tonight. MJ playing in his 81st game. The only Wizard to play in every single game. Stackhouse is called for double dribble as we check the Jim Coleman keys to the game.
Well, both teams are out of it. We won't even talk about stats, but winning is important. It certainly is important to their leader, Michael Jordan. So what better way than to end this stretch here?
Isley around everybody, lays it off to Weatherspoon, who scores easily. Credit that to Howard Isley, who penetrated far too easily around Lou.
Well, after the big man picked him up, there was no one to pick up Weatherspoon.
Last year, Washington won 3 of 4 against the Knicks, including both games here at MCI Center, as Kwame hits the jump hook. Kwame Brown getting his 19th start tonight and playing in his 79th game this season. Sprewell around Jordan, and Kwame stole the ball.
Good job of helping out your teammate. all that Houston had gotten by Michael Jordan.
Leitner stops and shoots. That's a little short. Doesn't usually come off of picks and shoot like that. He's normally a little set, more square to the basket, but getting more and more confident as the year goes along. Bingo. Howard Isley for three. Another guy that's put up a bunch of three-pointers. 330 on the season. He's hit 129 of them. Stackhouse for three, no good. Leitner tips it away. Kwame tries to save it. Does so to Leitner. Jordan inside.
Well, the hustle play right there by Kwame Brown, keeping that ball alive. And Leitner making sure he gained possession. Ended up with the assist and the easy two for Jordan.
Jordan's taken 6 shots. He's hit half of them.
Going to force Weatherspoon to step up, freeze it right there. Now Allen Houston steps up. That's going to leave Jordan open over here for the two. Good ball movement on that occasion. As I said, they stayed one step ahead of the defense the whole time. The team's 4th assist. Neither team shooting the ball extremely well, but that was some good ball movement by the Wizards.
Lou, they double team him. He finds Kwame, swings it to Hughes for the open jumper. That's as good as he can do it.
Once again, recognizing that they're a step ahead of the defense, keeping that ball moving until you get the open shot, and then the put down.
Lou fouls Howard Isley. And New York will get it on the side as Michael Zoliak checks into the action, replacing Kurt Thomas. Knicks average about 96 points a game. They give up just more than 97. Houston around
Hughes had to play up on Houston, respecting that outside shot.
Zoliak makes him pay. This will not count. And that is the end of the first quarter. So Michael Jordan. Madison Square Garden in New York, October 30th, 2001. MJ would score 19 points his first game as a Washington Wizard. Great move by MJ and the slam over Patrick Ewing.
Boy.
They would be reunited 12 years later. Michael still playing the game and Patrick a coach after retiring after last season.
Of course, he has so many highlight films on himself. Jordan, that is.
Ewing has a few as well.
Yeah, but that one, he's on the lower end of it.
Wizards have not hit a field goal in almost 6 minutes. That takes care of that. MJ's first shot in over 3 minutes since he checked in. He's got 10 points in the game and leads all scorers. Knicks by 6. Sprewell goes inside, lost the ball, and Leitner has it.
I don't know if you picked it up. Jordan quickly changed sides as soon as he knew which side his help was coming from. He was running in baseline, then he switched quickly and ran up to the middle where the help was.
MJ double team, needs help, finds Leitner. Haywood's jumper, good.
Jordan wanted a foul on that double team. He had a lot of hands hacking him across his arm.
Wizards whittle the lead down to 4. Washington on a 7-2 run. Weatherspoon in that lane a long time, lost the ball, and Washington will get it back. Allen Houston back in the New York lineup. Replaces Shandon Anderson. Houston in his 10th year from Tennessee led the Knicks in scoring last year at 20.4. This year averages almost 23 points a game. Jordan off a series of screens buries it.
Well, that's running a play to perfection that time. They had a couple of options, but Jordan was able to whittle himself free.
12 for MJ, and the Wizards cut the Knicks lead to 2. Frank Williams, Lou got hit in the groin, and Williams pops a 3.
Michael, push it, get it 20.
And Lou looks like it's not a groin injury, but a knee or thigh injury. And Lou is struggling now to get off the court. I'm not sure where it occurred. Being helped off by Steve Stricker, the Wizards trainer. Well, he had surgery last year. Came back 3 weeks to the day. The surgery was on his right knee on February 27th. 3 weeks later, on March 20th against Denver, Jordan came back, scored 7 points, played in a total of 7 games following the surgery, then went on the injured list and missed the remaining 8 games. But this year, he is the only Wizard to play in every single game.
Yeah, and I think that's another amazing feat. Here's the last Wizard possession. He comes off that pick set by Brendan Haywood and drills the jump shot. Washington, when they've executed and moved the ball around properly, they've gotten some good looks.
Jordan's only other serious injury came in the 85-86 season, his second year in the league, when he broke a bone in his left foot 3 games into the season. His 64 games that year, played a total of just 18.
Juan Dixon had jumped in that passing lane and anticipated just properly, but couldn't hold on to the ball.
Knicks back up by 5. Williams cuts inside and throws the ball out of bounds with 7 4/10 seconds to play in the half.
That's the way to apply some defensive pressure. They've been getting it, receiving that kind of pressure from the Knicks defense.
Doug Collins will bring Kwame Brown into the game for Brendan Haywood. Knicks have turned the ball over 11 times tonight. Washington just 4 so far. Dixon with 4 seconds takes the jumper and hits. Well, the Wizards battled back from 9 points down to cut it to 2. Jordan had 12 points, 3 rebounds in his year. And you know, you look at Michael Jordan, and sometimes you forget when you're standing next to him or when we're on the plane with him and he passes by, the presence that he has, the stoic presence. When he's dressed in a suit, he's always impeccable, whether he's wearing warm-ups or a beautiful suit. And he just has an aura about him that's unlike any athlete I've seen.
And you know what?
From Muhammad Ali, probably.
Yeah, but I don't think I forget that. I mean, when he comes around, you can just feel the electricity around him. And I was watching that too, but I also looked around the arena. Every head, all eyes were geared on that tail screen.
You know, he's almost like the Harlem Globetrotters. You can't get enough of him. You know, you just can't see him enough. He's like Santa Claus. No matter how many times you get excited each time you walk.
Absolutely. Well, Jordan, the only player in the first half with 10 or more points. He had 12, 6 for 12 from the field. Got several nice passes from Christian Laettner, who finished with 4 assists. The team has been struggling from the outside, but not Jordan. 6 for 12 from the outside. 3 rebounds and assist, and he gets my vote.
Why not?
I don't know how he is on the budget, but I sure would like to see him there. First half stats, Washington closed the lead down to 3, but it's been some strong defense. Washington's been able to force some turnovers. You can see bench scoring about...
Final time, Michael Jordan leads his Wizards out of the tunnel at MCI Center. MJ embracing Latrell Sprewell, then shooting over him. Michael with 12 points to lead all scorers in the first half from outside and in. Lee Nalon, who used to hurt the Wizards when he played for the Hornets, doing damage again for New York as the Knicks built a 9-point lead. But Juan Dixon helped Washington get back into it. And with Michael Jordan commemorating the Bullets 1978 World Championship, and the fans commemorating Michael Jordan. Thank you, Mike. We love you. New York, led in the first half by Lee Nalon, who scored 8 points off the bench. Allen Houston had 7, Shannon Anderson 5, Spree and Kurt Thomas 4 apiece. And Washington was led by MJ with 12, Dixon 7 off the bench, Stackhouse 5, Hughes and Kwame Brown 4 apiece. So we start the third quarter here in Washington. Steve Buckhands, Phil Chenier, our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew. Doug Collins starts the third quarter with Kwame, Christian, Bobby Simmons, Teron Lue, and Michael Jordan. Knicks built a 9-point lead, rather. Wizards got as close as 2. Sprewell's shot is good. 6 points for Latrell Sprewell. Three. Averages 16.5 a game. Jordan free for the open jumper. Score the field goal, and he's fouled on the play.
Well, that last possession, Sprewell just fired the opening jumper on Jordan. Jordan comes right back and answers with a jumper after curling off a Kwame Brown pick. He also gets the contact.
Jordan pulls up and hits.
Once he saw that switch off with Howard Isley on him, Jordan knew he was going to take him and post him up.
17 points for Michael Jordan. Lue nearly knocked it away. Now Simmons on Houston. 8 seconds to shoot. Good defense by Simmons. Great rebound by Weatherspoon, and he's fouled. He got good inside position between 2 Wizards players.
If you take a look at Clarence Weatherspoon, you can see how strong and bulky this guy really is. He's thick, and he's able to work his way around in front of Jordan and get that inside position. He has long arms. Like I said, he's only about 6'4", maybe 6'5". I believe they list him at 6'7". He's not 6'7".
The Knicks will have a losing record for the second straight year. Prior to that, they had not had a losing record since 1990-91 when Stu Jackson and John McLeod were the head coaches. They were 39-43 that year, and they actually made the playoffs that year with a losing record. With Ewing, the Knicks made the playoffs 13 straight years, from 87-88 through 99-2000.
Again, they got that matchup.
Bad pass, and that's picked off by Sprewell. What a play. He went between and around 3 Wizards players and scored.
Well, that's Latrell Sprewell's game. He's so good in transition, and you can see him using both hands.
Knicks have outscored the Wizards 10-0 in fast break points. And Larry Hughes will come back in for Washington. Checking the Toyota League leaders, MJ all-time second in steals behind Stockton. 3rd in points and 30th in assists.
Here's that possession before that where he gets Howard Isley on him and is able to just rise above him.
Back live, Larry Hughes hits a jumper and cuts the Knicks lead to 5. Houston, Thomas from 15. Give the assist to Allen Houston. Lue, long jumper good. 3-pointer for Teron Lue, number 60 on the season.
Once again, good ball movement. You heard Chip talk about Larry Drew mentioning that they had to have good ball movement, and that's what they showed you.
Houston misses. Lue gets his first points of the night. Penetrates for Jordan. Baseline. And Michael draws the foul, nearly got the hoop. So he goes to the line again.
You push the ball down quickly. You don't allow the defense to get set. Latrell Sprewell really had no help. Jordan gets by him right there. And the foul occurs from the backside.
Michael gets the free throw. He played 3 years at North Carolina. Won the NCAA title in '82. College Player of the Year in '83 and '84, winning both the Naismith and Wooden Awards. And the Bulls took him as the 3rd player overall in '84, behind Olajuwon and Sam Bowie. Can you imagine?
Well, you know, again, I've heard this argument quite a bit. Olajuwon, you want to get yourself a big man. And then Portland drafting Sam Bowie. They had Clyde Drexler, so they're thinking, well, we better strengthen ourselves on the front court. But certainly that worked in favor of Chicago.
13 points for Allen Houston, and the Knicks lead by 4. Lou goes all the way and scores.
Well, as soon as he saw that basket open up, he knew that he was going to curl around Isley and get to the basket.
5 points for Lou, and the Wizards cut it to 2. Leitner's 7th assist on the night. Sprewell around Hughes, lays it off for Weatherspoon, who scores easily.
Sprewell's cat-like quick.
Points in the paint has to be in favor of New York.
Yeah, they were just barely in the first half, 12 to 10.
And currently 18 to 12 points in the paint. Jordan with 3 seconds. Now he fades, shoots, and misses. Right there for Hughes' jumper, no good. Michael inside, lays it up, can't get it. Leitner off the glass, no good. And the Wizards with 3 chances can't score.
Well, fortunate that time that Weatherspoon couldn't put that one down.
Leitner for Kwame. Don Chaney wants a 20.
Just running the floor, pushing the ball up quickly, and look for your opportunities. Offensive rebounds. Only 1 offensive rebound by the Knicks tonight.
Over the top and out of bounds. Christian Leitner has missed all 5 of his field goals tonight. He's got just 2 points, but he does have 4 rebounds and 8 assists. And now Jerry Stackhouse, who played in the first half, is in street clothes in the second. Stackhouse could manage just 5 points on a bad knee, and he's out for the rest of the night. Leitner inside for Kwame. Back to Leitner, and a 3-second violation on Kwame Brown.
Got to be very careful when you post up in the paint, realizing that you've got only 3 seconds in there. You've got to turn and do something with it and get out of there.
He was in there before he got the ball. Then when he passed it back, he failed to get out. Right. That's where they nailed him. Wizards have 5 field goals in the quarter, 4 of them assisted by Leitner. Blocked by Kwame, out of bounds.
Boy, good job to stay with a much quicker Howard Isley. You saw Kwame changing directions. There the crossover changes with him, and then of course he has the height advantage.
Kwame had his career high with 6 blocks this year against Boston in the second game of the season, right here where the Wizards beat the Celtics by 45 points. Jordan off the screen. Kwame tip no good. Kicked by Leitner. And the clock will remain at 19.
Well, even though New York will maintain possession, that kick saved Washington 2 points.
Let me ask you, Phil, would you rather see Kwame try to get a rebound as opposed to tipping it up like that in this stage of his career?
Yeah, I'd like to see him, like we said with Brendan, grab it with 2 hands and then power up strongly. Unless you're sure that you can get the tip, right, or you're talking about a tip dunk.
Louis Grillo calls 3 seconds on Kurt Thomas, and the Wizards get it back. New York with their first turnover of the quarter. And again, They lead by 4. Wizards got as close as 2, but no closer. 3 times they've cut it to 2. Lou from the baseline can't get it. And inside position by Weatherspoon, who's done a nice job. Jordan with a near steal. And that's what I talked about at the beginning of the game, playing it from the neck up. He is always 2 steps ahead of the opposition.
Well, all the great players that you talk about, they seem to know what's going to happen before it even occurs. You can see Jordan pretty much playing like a free safety, slipping in there, almost getting control of that ball.
Bobby Simmons off the Wizards bench. Baseline jumper. And Thomas missed everything. Lou, short. Sprewell. Like to see the Wizards get a good look at the basket on one of these trips. Nice play.
A line drive jump hook from Kwame Brown. Percentage on the road so far this year. When the Knicks have shot 50% or better on the road, they're 4-0.
They led by 2, but then Shandon Anderson hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer. Allen Houston, he is unbelievable. 3-pointer for Allen Houston. And the Knicks as a team shoot 38% from long range, 4th in the league. And Houston has 20 tonight. And the lead that quickly grows to 8. Dixon. Back to Leitner. Hughes, they work it around nicely, and Hughes it.
Showed some patience that time. Still had 5 seconds on the shot clock, so good ball movement leads to the open shot.
Three-pointer for Hughes, but Houston answers.
Got to react quicker to that, especially when you know you've got a shooter like Allen Houston on the strong side.
Haywood, baseline, missed everything. Christian Leitner went down, and he is lying out of bounds. And looks like he got hit in the side of the head. So the Wizards play 4-on-5 until Leitner can get back down the court. Jordan drives for Haywood inside. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2. Travis Knight, Doliak, Anderson, Houston, and Williams for New York. And a nice play by Hughes. Boy, Larry with nowhere to go.
Yeah, I was going to say they really didn't have numbers.
Nice pass to Haywood, who goes inside, draws contact, and will go back to the line.
Hollering out instructions. They got Larry Hughes trapped in that corner and really had no passing angles to deliver the pass. Finally is able to shovel a pretty difficult pass over to Brendan Haywood, and Brendan gets fouled.
Brendan came to Washington a year ago this past summer from the Magic for LaRon Profit and future considerations. From New York, but went to high school in Dudley, North Carolina, and played tight end for a couple of seasons in high school. And a foul called on Larry Hughes. By the way, Brendan Haywood, the ACC's all-time leader in field goal percentage, 64%.
Well, you got to believe that quite a few of those shots were dunks.
Yeah, inside. Well, in fact, just about all of your centers are the guys that always seem to have.
They're going to lead the field goal percentage category, right?
Leave Doliak open. drives inside, gets Doliak, 18-foot jumper, missed it, and Juan Dixon brings it down. New York by 6 with 9:07 to play in regulation. Jordan, baseline, short jumper, can't get it. Travis Knight inside for an easy tip-in, the 7-footer in his 7th year from UConn. The lead is 8. Kwami's jumper, good.
Ooh, that was badly missed by Williams.
Wizards have lost 4 straight games at home.
Yeah. Done well on the road these past 3 or 4 games.
Oh, Kwame Brown just cleaned the glass and
He
flushed
sure
it
did.
down.
And Don Chaney up off the bench saying that was basket interference. And that ball was still around the cylinder when Kwame made contact with it.
That wasn't just interference, that was tortious interference.
Off this planet if you don't, at least out of this country, if you don't know about LeBron James.
He's from Akron, Ohio. In fact, when the Wizards were in Cleveland the other night, he came to see Michael Jordan and company.
Has to be the most talked about, discussed high school player, and of course everybody's anticipating him entering the draft in June.
Jordan inside, off the glass, and in.
I'm glad that Brendan pulled his hands down and didn't make contact with that ball.
21 points for Jordan. Doliak. And you knew he had to hit one of those shots. He's been missing them all night, but he nails that one. 4 points for Doliak. Had a long conversation with Michael Jordan about LeBron James. And while he admits that he has all of the tools, including tremendous court awareness, he's not certain yet whether he may have developed too soon. Actually matured physically too soon for this league. He cited Pearl Washington as an example of a guy that's done that.
I was going to say, I've seen that several times as well, either at the high school level or the college level, where a guy is just so much better and mature, but their room for improvement after that point is limited.
Jordan around Travis Knight, baseline shot, no good. Kwame up there too soon to come down with it. Wow. Isley with a nice catch, and he misses. But Freewell chases it down. He pops and hits. 3-pointers for the trail.
You got to make sure you secure the defensive.
March 9th, 2003. Michael's final game at Madison Square Garden. And as we pointed out before, Phil, his first game with the Wizards was against the Knicks, and his last game at home is against the New York Knicks as well. It was interesting when that schedule came out. He had not yet decided here in the fourth quarter, as New York looks to even the series at 2-2 this year. Well, our XO Communications trivia question tonight: who is the only member of the '92 Olympic Dream Team never to play in the NBA Finals? And we thought perhaps Christian Laettner.
Yeah, that was a good thought on your part.
Thank you. I researched it heavily.
I'm sure you did. You better give some credit to where credit's due.
Well, I spent a long time looking up that one. And it paid off. Jordan had it knocked away and turned it over. Shandon Anderson hit it out of his hand, and Anderson goes all the way and scores. And he's fouled.
Jordan looked like he was trying to get the strip from behind Anderson, but it was Kwame Brown right there that got the hand out and made contact with Shannon on the release.
Well, the Wizards have won 23 games at home this year, lost 17. Last year they went 22 and 19 at home, and Michael Jordan is coming out of the game to a standing ovation in Washington. They're still cheering Jordan here in the nation's capital.
And they should.
Listen to this. I've never seen this before. The fans are not even watching the play on the floor.
Yeah. You know, I was kind of curious at the beginning of the game. I just thought that the ovation was going to be a little larger than that, so maybe they were saving it for the end.
There's still ovation for MJ. 21 points, 9 of 22, 8 rebounds in 37 minutes. For the remaining 2+ minutes of the game, and the greatest player of all time has played his final contest in the nation's capital for the Wizards. It comes in a losing effort, but Michael Jordan in a wonderful ovation by the sellout crowd here, 20,178.
Yeah, that was a lot more like it there. Nobody is leaving either because they will have a special ceremony that I understand we will be covering, and it's a tribute to Michael Jordan.
game? If it is, it is still fantastic what all you've accomplished. I wish I could be there to join your many fans. Congratulations.
I just want to say happy retirement. It's been a long time since we've played together, and I just want to let you know that those were some of the greatest memories of my time, and to let you know that you're truly the greatest.
Man, I admired you from day one. Even when you got in my face, said you were going to dunk on me. You've been amazing, and I'll tell you what, you've impacted a lot of people's lives. You've built a whole new generation, and you're a great man, great man. I respect you, I admire you.
He's the greatest to put some shoes on, basketball shoes, that is.
Man, I love you. You've been an inspiration to me in my life. Basketball as far as everything, and you made me really respect the game.
I respect, what he's brought to this game, what he's done not only for, for me as a kid, but in general, what he's done for a lot of people's lives.
Mike, we love you, man. Thanks for doing everything you did for the game.
People don't understand how much Michael Jordan simply wants to play basketball. I would hear stories from people, including my own brother, who would go to the health club and Michael Jordan would be there playing pickup games as if it was 7th game of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. He just wants to play.
The inbound pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! Michael on the drive across the lane. Turnaround shot. Got it. 63 for Jordan. Oh, what a move by Jordan. Look at the air. Look at the hang time. Look at the flying motion. 10 seconds. Here comes Chicago. Jordan open. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second three-peat. Jordan with 4 seconds. Fakes, shoots. Wizards need the bucket for the win. Jordan, the jumper. Got it. You got it at the buzzer. Jordan does it to Cleveland again. Can you believe that?
So this is goodbye. This is goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Abe and Irene Poland to center court for a very special presentation. Since building MCI Center in downtown Washington, D.C. more than 5 years ago, Abe and Irene Poland have made it their priority and mandated that each of their teams become integral members of this community. Their efforts have contributed not only to the renovation of the streets around us, but to the revitalizing of the spirit of this city as well. As members of this community, it is the goal of Mr. and Mrs. Poland and the Washington Wizards to leave a lasting imprint on their environment and their neighbors. Through his dedication to the sport of basketball, Michael Jordan has contributed to this lasting impression in the hearts of sports fans around the world. Michael has made education and young people around the world a priority in his charitable efforts. In honor of what Michael Jordan has meant to the NBA over his 15-year playing career, Abe and Irene Poland are donating 15 computers to each of the 18 public high schools in the District of Columbia, establishing a computer lab and reading center in every public high school in Washington. Joining Michael and the Polands at center court for this very special presentation is Vice President of Hewlett-Packard Federal, Bruce Klein, Superintendent of the District of Columbia, Dr. Paul Vance, and the principals from all 18 of the public high schools. Congratulations, Michael Jordan. Thank you for the memories. Your legacy will live on here in Washington, D.C.
Jordan doing what he does best, helping people, helping to inspire young people. He has made it known that one of his great joys is to help the less fortunate, and mainly kids, and he does a lot of that. And a lot of it you don't see. There was a great article in the Washingtonian about Michael and his assistant, S.D. Portnoy. And after a hurricane that affected his hometown of Wilmington, North Carolina, they went down there on the sly, if you will. They went down without telling anybody about it. They gave the heads up to one writer at the local paper in Wilmington and told him that Michael Jordan was coming down. But that's it. He stuck down, he visited, he helped out, he left before anybody knew it.
Well, I'm sure, though, the word spread pretty quickly. It got around. But great gesture. I mean, what do you get a guy like Jordan that has everything? Yeah. So, but it's fitting with Jordan helping the community, and Abe and Irene Poland also making sure that that everybody shares in the benefit. And boy, these schools are really going to be nice, and with those new computers, 15 new computers for each school, right?
Yep. Michael Jordan says his final goodbye to the fans of Washington, D.C. And what a...
With a loss, guarantee the worst record in the NBA. But no, Carlos Boozer will not let it happen tonight. The Cavs are leading the Raptors. If the Cavs keep winning and the Denver Nuggets lose tonight, they are hosting Houston.